Bear with me 1 second, everyone. All right. Here we go. All right. Hey, everyone. How's it going? It is Cinco de Mayo on a Taco Tuesday, so we have a special edition of Brewin, Bobby, and Minka, as always. I'm here with my co-captain, Minka. Get her in the shot here. Awesome. Okay, so let's see me. There we go. All right. Almost. Okay, so today we are going to be doing something very, very special. We have Chef Lisa Rose live and direct from Miami. She is, I'll let her introduce herself, but we met her when she was running the restaurant across the street from us in Little Tokyo called Symbol. And to this day, I still think it's one of the best Southeast Asian restaurants in the city. And she's a talented cook, talented chef, phenomenal person, and we've stayed friends since. And so today she's going to show you how to cook with coffee and making tacos using our coffee as a special sort of Taco Tuesday thing. And then I'm going to be showing you a drink to pair with that. A bit of a boozy, pineapple-y lime coffee cocktail. So you'll get the food from her, the drinks from me, and we're just going to kind of walk through this together, and it should be a ton of fun. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn the microphone, if you will, over to Lisa. Hey, Lisa, how are you? It's good to see your face.
Happy Taco Tuesday, landing on, Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, I'm so excited for this. So I've been playing around with, let me just show you guys. So this is Demitasse Milky Way. This is really amazing. I've been actually drinking it every morning. Just, R&D. But let me show you what we're doing today. So because today's demo falls on Cinco de Mayo, what better way than to cook with coffee while enjoying tacos as well, right? So I know you're going to be making some cocktails with coffee, but I'm going to show you a couple things to do with coffee today in regards to using it as a brew for a stew, as well as right here, I have a blend of spices.
Oh, wow.
So even if you wanted to do this with the steak, or if you wanted to do this as a grilled meat item, you can do that as well. So over here, I actually have some of the coffee that's ground, and it's about balancing flavors, right? So that earthy tones, the cocoa and the caramel that comes out, the dried fruit flavors really do complement the spices. So we have the garlic powder, we have white pepper, we have a little bit of paprika and cayenne, as well as cumin. So that's that, and I actually blended some already. We're gonna do a blue corn masa, which is what we make corn tortillas out of, but we're making it with blue corn today, and I'm actually gonna add some brewed coffee, Demitasse coffee to that, to make our own tortillas as well.
So you're not just adding the powder to that; you're actually brewing the coffee and putting that in the lukewarm mix.
So we're gonna use the coffee 3 ways. So we're gonna add it to the masa to make a coffee-infused corn tortilla.
Okay.
We're gonna have a coffee spice rub for the chicken. And then we're actually also gonna add some brewed coffee while it's cooking. And as it cooks into this tomato and chipotle adobo with onion and garlic mixture, we're actually going to add some coffee to that as well. Now, a couple of things with the coffee, that natural acidity that comes out actually really actually balances out those flavors. So what we're going to do today is we're going to balance out some spice, some sweetness, some acidity, and it's all going to tie in to make this kind of like really nice flavor, similar to what you would get like in mole. So that's what coffee got kind of inspired me in that too.
Oh, awesome.
What is it?
So it's this recipe that I'm making is a variation of chicken tinga. Chicken tinga is actually a stewed or braised chicken that's actually with the tomato and the chipotle mixture, and it actually stews in there, and we shred the chicken, and the braising liquid we put in a blender and take that and make it into its own kind of salsa. So you don't really need to make your own other salsa with it. And we're going to serve it with a pineapple salsa today and an avocado mash. So it's going to be absolutely great.
Perfect.
Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started as far as the chicken. So over here, again, we have this blend of spices that we created over here. So this mixture too, I already added the salt in there. So as you can see, we have the chicken. So right here, I actually removed the bones, but you can buy it from the store already deboned. But this is thigh and drumstick.
Okay.
I like using dark meat because it braises better. But if you're, if you like white meat, you would just cook it for less amount of time. So we're just gonna lightly dust it with this spice coffee rub, right? And then we're gonna get our pan hot right here.
Are you using garlic salt or just garlic powder?
It's garlic powder in here as well, but we are incorporating some garlic with the onion that it's going to be cooking with too. So,
nice.
So garlic in a couple of ways. The garlic powder is really good for the actual rub itself. So I'm getting my pan really hot. Again, really important thing when you're cooking is just heat control, right? And I'm using a nonstick pan. So I'm going to turn on the light over here. The thing about garlic salt, I actually prefer using garlic powder and then adding the salt so that I can control the salt content. Yeah. So garlic powder and garlic salt, the only difference is the salt's added already, but I like to control it based on like actually adding the salt myself. So you can use any neutral oil. So neutral oil is something with a high smoke point. I'm actually keeping it more not refined, so I'm adding some coconut oil, and that coconut is actually going to bring out that coffee flavor as well. So that's why I was playing around with it, and it's really a nice way to incorporate, actually more natural oil. So I'm going to actually sear the chicken skin side down and waiting until it gets a little bit more hot. But over here, let me just show you my garnish setup. I already was prepping up earlier. I have some avocado mash. So it's avocado, lime, just salt. The thing is that the sauce we're making already has a lot of flavor. So you wouldn't make your full-on guacamole mix in there because we also have pineapple salsa with cilantro, lime, and onion. And then we have some chilies over here, some serrano chilies with lime. So we have our plate up ready to go.
Wow.
So you can make bigger batches of this, obviously, depending on how many people you're feeding. So in relation to this, let's get it nice and hot. You hear that sear and sizzle? So you want that. I control it. As soon as I get it on high, I turn it down.
Okay.
Because you also don't want to burn the coffee. So that's the thing. You don't want to burn your spices. You don't want to burn the coffee. So you just want it to be medium. You want it hot and high just to warm up the pan. That's it.
Okay.
So I'm doing the skin side down. Now you can absolutely do this without the skin. I feel like when you cook the flavors together, it needs some bit of that fat, natural fat from the chicken too. As you can see over here, I actually saved the bone. You can add that in for extra flavor if you'd like as well. But I'm gonna leave that up for now just so it cooks faster. So if you're doing this with thighs, with the bone, it definitely takes a little bit longer. But to speed up the cooking process, right, for the magic of TV, I went ahead and just actually took the bone out. So we're going to add also some onion that I've sliced. I know you were making cocktails, so I didn't want to be sitting here slicing, so I went ahead and had it already chopped up, ready to go.
Awesome.
And then for the garlic too, I just want to take garlic and smash it. You can add a couple if you would like, but I keep it just smashed because I'm going to blend. Remember, I'm actually going to blend this later to make the sauce.
Wow.
I'm just going to smash it. You don't want to get it too fine either because then it's gonna actually maybe possibly burn the garlic. So over here, just tiny bit of color just to get the natural aromas. If you can smell this right now, you really just smell all the spices, including that coffee. So it's just
now,
really
are you seasoning both sides of the chicken or just one side of the chicken? It's hard to, I can't tell very well, but.
So a little bit of both.
Okay.
You can also add more.
Awesome.
So now, check it out. Just a little bit of color already, right? You don't want too much color either, because what you want to do is we're going to actually stew this. I'm going to add the onions. We're going to be stewing the chicken, so we want more of the chicken cooking with the actual sauce. So you're not really cooking this all the way through.
Now, you also, is there a science or whatever behind the size of the chicken pieces? Or can you use any size chicken piece?
I'm sorry, say that again?
So can you use any size chicken piece, or did you cut these down and pound them out a little bit so they're a little thinner and smaller?
Oh, yeah. You can use any size, but the cooking time would change.
Got it. Okay.
So again, I just cut these down for the magic of TV. Like, wow. So I do that at home too. If I'm in a rush, like I'm cooking dinner, maybe I want to make something like a stew or a curry or something, I'll cut it down even more. Just
Okay.
so I can actually have a faster cook time. So
Got it.
just those tiny things to think about, you know. You're more than welcome to make this the day before, and actually have the chicken already cooked, and then it sits in the salsa, and you'll just reheat it for the next day. So if you're making this for a party, you know, it's something you can actually do ahead of time. So I'm going to add a couple more ingredients into here. I'm not going to get too much color on the onions. Again, it's going to stew down. I'm adding diced canned tomato. You can use the actual fresh tomato, but it's not going to have as much juice. So I actually want the natural tomato juice in there. So these are organic tomatoes. And then this is the chipotle. And chipotle is just a smoked jalapeno. So I'm actually going to add just one. So this is the jalapeno. What was that?
I never knew that.
Oh, yeah. So chipotle is actually a jalapeno pepper that's been smoked and dried.
I know.
So there's different types of names for actual fresh chili versus the actual smoked or dried chili.
Huh.
So I'm just going to take a little bit of the adobo sauce. And adobo sauce is just pretty much more of the actual tomato and vinegar mixture that it's actually soaking in. So you can get that canned already. And it has a delicious flavor. It's nice and spicy. The reason why I only add one of these chipotle peppers is because it's actually already very spicy. So you want to just balance that out. Over here, I'm going to add just a little bit of brown sugar because, again, it's going to really contrast the flavor from the coffee and really kind of pull the coffee notes together. And this is when we add the coffee. So I already brewed some coffee here.
All right.
So we're going to make sure it goes halfway up the chicken.
Oh,
and
that's
it's
so
going to
cool.
produce this like beautiful, rich sauce.
Does the acid in the coffee break the chicken down quicker? Does it help with the cooking?
It's super tender for sure.
Okay. Sweet.
But just to balance it out, I'm adding just a ladleful of the chicken broth.
Okay.
And now I'm going to bring this up in temperature. And now this is not traditional chicken tinga. Another variation that I like to use is also to add, obviously, I love Asian cuisine. I've studied in Singapore, Thailand, right? You know that stuff.
Yeah.
So a little bit of the soy sauce. This is a dark soy. So it's actually going to help to bring the coffee notes out from that natural umami that comes out of it. So I'm going to actually bring this up to a boil and then take it down to a simmer. And luckily for you guys at home, the magic of TV, I already did some earlier, so you're not going to have to wait for this. So this is actually going to simmer down very slowly. You can put the lid on. It's only going to take about 20 to 30 minutes since it's cut small. Now it's going to take 40 to 50 minutes, depending on the size, if it's a little bit bigger.
Wow.
So as this cooks down too, this is actually going to cook down the onions, the garlic, and the tomatoes, get a little bit thicker in the sauce. And that sauce we'll take out later, put it in the blender, and the chicken we're going to shred. And then we're going to actually take the sauce from the blender and add it back into the chicken. So it's going to create this really, like, if you ever heard of the terminology guisado, which is stew. So if you ever went to guisados in LA, they have all these stewed meats, right?
Yeah.
So that's that. So I'm going to get this going over here. And then the last thing, I know we have to get to cocktails. The last thing I want to show you beforehand is actually making the masa. So as this is simmering, this is blue corn masa. You can use whatever type of masa you like. I like blue corn, preferably. I know if you've ever been in LA, Broken Spanish, they use the same thing as well. And I'm actually going to add some coffee. Now this, you can actually add water. It's really simple to make at home. You don't have to add any lard just to keep it lighter. You can actually add the coffee.
Oh, wow. Brew coffee.
Yeah. And that the fruit notes to it will actually also help too. So like you say on your label, right? So it's the cocoa and the caramel and the actual dried fruit. Now, if you ever had mole, it mimics those flavors as well. So I use this fork here, just adding the coffee until it comes together.
That's fantastic.
So it'd be really nice for you guys to try this out at home and let me know how it comes out. But this is the actual dough to make your fresh tortilla instead of buying it already pre-made. And once you learn this too, there's definitely different types out there. You know, I know a good flour tortilla versus corn, whatever your preference is. But this coffee is really going to actually infuse nicely into this masa. So now after it's a little bit crumbly over here, I'll switch to my hand and really get it to come together. And you want it to be like Play-Doh consistency, right? So it really just comes together over here. You can see it's nice and soft. I'll knead it together a little bit more.
So we just have a couple questions here. Someone asked, were those boneless, skinless thighs?
Yeah, those are boneless thighs. But to be honest, I bought it with the bone on, and I took the bone out myself. You can do it skinless.
Okay. So you like skin off.
The skin is going to add a little bit more flavor to it. But if you're wanting to go health conscious there, definitely leave the skin out. Just know that it's not going to take too long. That barrier of fat helps me out when I'm actually using the coffee spices. So just don't sear it too long either because you don't want it to be tough. So over here, let me show you. This is actually just coming together as a ball. So you have your masa. This is going to make your fresh tortillas. Now you actually want this to rest for a good 30 minutes. But again, magic of TV, I already have some made. I hope you guys are enjoying this so far. It smells delicious in here. I feel like my neighbors are like, what is she cooking now? So I have some masa already made. Now I have a pan in here. Cast iron is really good to make your tortillas with. If you don't have cast iron, a good non-stick pan, because you also don't want it to stick. This is already seasoned right here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna make some space. I don't have a tortilla press, but I like to be creative because not everyone at home has a tortilla press, and that shouldn't deter you from making your own actual fresh tortillas. So what I have today is I have this Ziploc bag. Depending on the size of the taco you want, you take it, you make a nice ball out of it. You put it in between the Ziploc bag that I actually cut open. And over here, instead of if you have a nice taco or tortilla press, it would actually press that really nicely. But since I don't have one, and if you don't have one at home, you can just use a pan and put all your pressure down and just flatten it out over here. See, as you can see, it's already taking its shape.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So again, like, don't make it deter you from making your own tacos at home, just not having that tortilla press. I actually bought one, but it ended up being a repa press. I didn't realize there was a big difference, and oh my gosh, that was an oops moment for sure. But that being said, look, it just really depends on the thickness that you want. If you want it a little bit thinner, go ahead and press it down with your hand a little bit more. And depends on how thick you want the tortilla. So I'm going to show you this. Press it a little bit more. And then I have my pan heating up over here. So what's going to happen is that since it's plastic, you don't need to put any oil or anything. This Ziploc bag, you can use saran wrap as well, is going to help it just peel right off. Take it into your other hand. Peel it right off as well. If it's sticking a little bit, just make sure to go on the other side. Just nice and gently. And it comes right off. So now you have your masa that's turned into your tortilla over here. Take it into a nice pan, and we got our chicken still cooking over here. And we have our cast iron skillet nice and hot. So it's up to you to, again, like what type of masa you want to use. But this was a blue corn if you're just joining us right now. I like to use my hand, but if you're really intimidated by that, you can go ahead and use a spatula too. Let it sit. It's going to puff up a little bit. You want some nice color on the other side, but not too dark either. Because again, it has coffee in there as well. So you don't want to really burn that. So bring it up to the edge, flip it over. So that's like a really simple, just how you make tortillas at home. Now you can make these ahead of time too, keep it in a nice towel. So, have their tortillas right here. Awesome. Zoom in on this again. So guys, if you're just joining us right now, we're making a variation of chicken tinga, fresh tacos with our tortilla. Check it out, it's bubbling over there.
Liesl, here's the $1 million question for you.
Yeah.
Best tacos in LA.
Oh, there's so many different ones. Have you ever seen the Taco Chronicles? Because there's different types, but I really like Sonora Town.
Sonora Town, okay.
I also like Leo's.
I've never even heard of Leo's. Where's that?
Leo's is really good for Al Pastor.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, and then Sonora Town is really good for their carne asada. What about you? What do you like?
You know, I just found a place in Culver City called Loqui, and I've just been ordering like nonstop from there in this quarantine. So it's just the flour tortillas they make are just epic. I don't know what it is that they put in there, but it's just super good. And
yeah, so like if you ever get a chance to watch Taco Chronicles on Netflix, it really just dives into the different types of tacos. Like, you know, from the different types of tortillas, the meat. But over here, we're going to go ahead and plate. Wash my hands first. So, I don't want to be loud with the blender, but this is what happens. Again, zoom in on the chicken stewing real quick. So again, it's going to turn out from here. When the chicken's cooked, I shred the chicken. And all that leftover braising liquid, I put in a blender. So over here, check it out.
God, that looks amazing.
Yeah, so
how long would that keep in the
nice
fridge?
Consistency. And it's, again, with the coffee, the chipotle, adobo, and the tomatoes and the onions and garlic. And that's the liquid that was left over from braising the chicken, and it made its own salsa.
That's amazing.
So, finally, we have our fresh tortilla here. On the bottom, we're going to do the avocado mash. Again, it's avocado, lime juice, salt, and pepper, just to keep it simple. Because, again, there's a lot of flavor coming out of your actual salsa from the chicken. So,
we got a question here. Do the tortillas freeze well?
I don't think they freeze very well, to be honest.
Okay.
And plus, they will stick together. So here, check it out. That's nice shredded chicken in its sauce.
Fantastic.
Nice and saucy over there. Again, we just like braised that chicken and pulled the chicken apart. And then we have our fresh pineapple salsa, which is pineapple, onion, cilantro. And then we did a little bit of lime juice. Right there. We have some thinly sliced serrano chilies. I just like to go a little bit above. You can definitely just dice that up, but I just think it's a beautiful presentation, right? You can show off to your friends.
Yeah.
Really didn't take that much effort to do that. And then you take some fresh cilantro leaves, and then you just nicely add some more natural leaves from the cilantro. And your friends are gonna be like, "Where do you work? And how did you become a chef over there?" Over there, we're thinking we're just gonna have some coffee, and we're having coffee-infused tacos right here.
That is amazing. Are you gonna share this recipe with us so we can put it on the blog?
Absolutely, yeah. I'll share the recipe with you guys so you can actually go ahead and enjoy again. This is our chicken tinga fresh coffee tortilla, blue corn tortilla, and we have pineapple salsa, and we use the coffee 3 ways, a coffee rub. Again, here's the coffee rub spices. I'll go ahead and make sure you have the recipe for that and that chicken stew that we shredded. So, without further ado, that's our taco. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm so excited to to go into the cocktail segment now.
Wow. Awesome. So, cool. Thank you so much for that. And let me know when you're opening up your taco truck in Los Angeles. 'Cause I think we're onto something here. Coffee and tacos.
Yeah, amazing.
Control LA together. Cool. So we're going to do a coffee cocktail. As you guys know, one of our baristas used to be a bartender. So this is her recipe. Stevie, if you're watching, shout out to Stevie. So that's actually go and get some rum. And so we're going to start by making a rum cold brew. And I'll put the recipe online, but this is, it's basically just rum, cinnamon sticks, a little bit of cardamom, and then coffee. And then we just soak this overnight. And so this is the end result here. So we're going to start by filtering this out and go from there.
I love how you're always making coffee with your dog.
She's my little co-captain here. She's also super needy. All right, so we put the blend in the cold brew. We're just going to filter this out. I need something to pour it into. Here we go. So again, this is just rum, cold brew, and cinnamon and cardamom. We're going to squeeze all of the liquid out, and then we're going to turn this into a syrup. So I'm going to put this in a saucepan. I'm going to add about maybe 2/3 cup of sugar, 1/3 cup of sugar. And I'll get the recipe up so you guys know exactly how much coffee and rum to use, but it's basically 50 grams of coffee, about 600 grams of rum, or about a cup of rum. And you're just going to steep that overnight. And we're just going to turn this into a syrup by just cooking down the rum. You want to put that on a low heat and let that just let the sugar melt into the rum coffee cold brew. I'm going to squeeze a little bit more out of this.
Oh, I really miss your cold brew.
You guys used to sell that a ton at St. Mall.
Yeah, we would buy one for the restaurant and one for ourselves.
So we're going to just blend this until the sugar dissolves in the cold brew rum. So we're basically making a boozy cold brew syrup with rum, and then we're going to get the rest of this going here. So while that's cooking down, we're going to set up the rest of this. So get your cocktail shaker. Put some ice in there. And then get your glassware ready. Put some ice in there too. So the original recipe calls for definitely crushed ice, but I don't have any way of crushing ice here, so we're just going to use regular ice.
That's so true. I've been wanting some crushed ice for certain things I'm making, and I tried hammering it myself, but then I don't think my neighbors liked me too much, so.
Right.
What's your dog's name again?
This is Minka, the mighty, mighty Minka. She is a bully and a half. So to this, we're going to add an ounce of lime juice. I'm just going to squeeze a full lime in here. And, you know, add more or less lime if you wanted more or less citrusy. And I feel like I love citrus, so I'll just squeeze a ton of lime in here.
That sounds good.
You never think lime and coffee would make well.
I wish we could send each other a plate, you know?
Oh my God, that'd be amazing, right? We're gonna have to do this in person one day next time you're in LA.
You send me a cocktail, and I send you some tacos.
We would love some tacos. She would love some tacos. You have no idea. She loves chicken.
I'm so excited for dinner.
Yeah. All right.
Here, guys, if you're just joining us, here's the chicken that we made with, we did a coffee rub right here. I know some people just joined, so, and we made our fresh tacos. Show you here. Yeah.
So you're gonna
that could be a thing, you know, Bobby?
Coffee, I love it. So once you smell the cinnamon and the rum and the coffee coming off the pan. All your sugars dissolved. You have yourself a rum cold brew, and we're gonna just add. We're gonna add about maybe, so let's just say an ounce and a half of this into your mix. There we go. This is a little boozy, so that's got a good amount of alcohol in it. We're gonna add another ounce of rum, 2 ounces of rum, ounce to 2 ounces, whatever you want. It's Cinco de Mayo. We're gonna do 2 ounces of rum.
You're like, am I measuring?
Yeah, just eyeballing it these days. So we got lime, we got rum, we got a coffee rum cold brew, and we're just gonna add 4 ounces of pineapple juice. If you have fresh pineapples, good for you. Show off. I got canned Dole because that's all I had access to. Hi. And I'm going to add 3 to 4 ounces of this. And I just want another lime in here. I'm going to squeeze another lime into here because I'm not smelling as much lime as I'd like. So I'm going to squeeze another lime off in here.
You know, every time I have lime, I always remember when there was a lime shortage. Do you remember that?
It was like, no, there was a lime shortage? When was this?
It was a couple years ago, and there was an issue with the cartels.
Yeah, of course there was.
And so limes were so expensive. I think it was like $70 for a case.
Jesus.
So I always think about that.
That's wild. You'd never think limes would be shortage. So you're just going to shake this a few times. You don't need a ton of shaking, according to my bartender friend. And we're just going to pour this right into the glass here.
Oh, my gosh.
And the lime and the coffee probably pair phenomenally well with and the pineapple juice, right? And you got the pineapples, the pineapple salsa and all this.
Yeah, for
Guys,
sure.
I'm not much of a drinker. This is phenomenal. You get the coffee, you get the cinnamon, definitely get the rum. The pineapple juice is tart with the lime. This is great.
Sounds so good.
Yeah. So there you guys have it. We got coffee with tacos, coffee with rum and pineapple juice, Cinco de Mayo special on Brewin with Bobby and Liesel's Yes I Can Chef. Thank you so much for being here. This was amazing.
Yeah, no, it was so much fun. We should do this again. I have tea, so maybe we should do tea next time.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely have a few more weeks of quarantine here, so let's get it. Definitely do it before we're all free and not watching videos at home.
Well, do you guys have any questions before we head out? And we're gonna be eating and drinking all of this.
That's right.
No, well, thank you guys for joining. Bobby, you have any other last words?
I miss you in Los Angeles. Please move back.
I mean, like, I would go back and then go to your coffee shop first. How about that?
There we go. Well, cheers to that. Thanks again so much. And we'll see you on Yes I Can Chef. And we'll be here every Tuesday and Friday, everyone. And for those of you who just joined, we're going to post all the recipes online on our blog. Give me a few hours to get that up. And then this will also be posted on YouTube for anyone who wants to watch again and follow it. How does the dog sit so patiently? I have to bribe her with goodies 24/7 to get her to calm down. Otherwise, she'd be attacking me. So that's it for today. We'll see you guys on Friday. And please follow Yes I Can Chef to see Liesel cooking up some crazy things. And we will see you guys soon. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Bye.
Happy Cinco de Mayo. Bye.